Hello everyone and welcome back to the Gaming Panda. Today we are playing some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. And today it's going to be a little bit of a different episode. Usually I show you guys a deck, explain to you guys how it works, show you guys in a real duel, and then explain to you guys how to get it. But today I'm going to be showing you guys how I make my decks. So here I have Dark Signer Carly. I have an idea of how what I want to make her deck as, so we're gonna go ahead and delete this deck. And her main cards are the Fortune Fairies when she's not a Dark Signer, and when she's a Dark Signer, she's all about the Fortune Ladies, right? So today we are going to be making a Fortune Lady, Fortune Fairy deck. So we're just gonna be making a Fortune deck. So we're gonna go ahead and find ourselves a Fortune card, which I have right here. We're going to click on all related cards, even the ones that we don't have, so that way I can see everything that we might potentially need. And then we're just going to start adding things to the deck. So we have a Fortune Lady Light, she's obviously going to be there. We have Fortune Lady Rewind, which lets us target any number of our banished Fortune Lady monsters with different names, special summon them, and then shuffle them into the deck by the end phase. And I mean, if we look at this, I'm not sure if they'll be sent to the graveyard, be banished that often, but it doesn't matter at this point. We're just seeing if we have enough cards or what cards could potentially work. So let's just go ahead and add both of them. Then we have a Fortune Lady Wind. Let's go ahead and add that. We have Inherited Fortune. Activate during the turn a face-up Fortune Lady monster you controlled was destroyed. Special summon up to 2 Fortune Ladies. So this is very handy. We're definitely adding that to our hand. And then this one lets us increase the level by 3, which is amazing for a Fortune Lady. So we're going to add that to our hand as well. Because all the Fortune Ladies, what they do is that they start off with 300 attack points, or it depends on their level. So this one's going to start off with 300 attack points, 200 attack points, and it's going to gain 200 for each level up to 12 levels, right? And then this one is gonna start off with 900, and then their level will increase by 1 until 12, giving us another 300. So those are all the Fortune Lady cards we have, right? So I'm just gonna do one last search here. Go ahead for Fortune, and let's see, what else do we have here? We have the Portrait Secrets. This obviously isn't a Fortune Lady card. And we have Fortune Fairy Chi, right? So I'm not sure if I want to make this a Fortune Fairy or a Fortune Lady. Right now we have a bunch of Fortune Lady cards, so I'm probably going to keep this a Fortune Lady deck, right? So right now we're missing Fortune Lady Wind, so I want to have 3 copies of each, right? So what I'm going to do... Okay, so now that I have whatever Fortune Lady cards that I have here, I'm going to go ahead and click this little button here, so that way I can add cards that I have not obtained, right? So we can add more Fortune Lady cards, so I can go ahead and look up Fortune, right? And then we see all the different Fortune cards here. So we have Fortune Lady Earth. We're going to add 2 more of these, right? We have Fortune Lady Light. We're going to add 2 more of those for now. For now, we're just adding all the monster cards and spell cards and trap cards that we can, and then we're gonna go ahead and edit this down so that way we have a nice, combination of the 2. This one I really liked as a trap card, so we're gonna go ahead and add a second one. Trap cards I typically don't go over 2 copies, but sometimes I'll have 3. Now this one I don't really see us using too much, so we're just gonna leave the 2 that we have right now. This one, this spell card, we definitely want more of, so we're going to add maybe 3. I'm going to add 3 for now, because I know it's a good card. Fortune Lady Wind, let's go ahead and add 2 more copies of that. Accumulated Fortune, okay? Activate as a chain link of 4 or higher. Draw 2 cards. You cannot activate this card if multiple card effects with the same name are in that chain. Now, this is not a Fortune Lady card, but an interesting card nonetheless. Okay, now this is a Fortune Lady card. We have Bending Destiny, right? So if the only face-up monsters you control are Fortune Lady monsters, you can activate this card, negate the activation of any spell or trap card, or the normal summon of a monster, and remove that card from play. This is interesting. The card removed from play by this effect is returned to its owner's hand during the end phase. So it could be nice to have one or two of these cards, right? Like, imagine if you're using this in PvP, you're gonna have maybe like a Blue Eyes or something pop up, or maybe you're playing some really old deck like a Luna-like deck, and the fusion monster comes out. You're gonna want to go ahead and activate this trap card here. So let's go ahead and add two of those. D-Fortune, that's a Destiny Hero card. This is a Valkyrie card. Fortune Fairy cards. Those are all Fortune Fairies. Fortune Fairies. Fortune Lady Calling. Okay. If you control a Fortune Lady monster, special summon one Fortune Lady monster from your deck with a different name from the cards you control. Also, for the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon from the extra deck, including Synchro monsters. So Fortune Lady Calling seems pretty good, right? So let's go ahead and add 2 copies of that real quick. Fortune Lady Dark, we want to have 3 copies of her as well. Fortune Lady Every, I mean, yes, we're gonna add at least 1 copy of this. We don't have any tuner monsters in here though, which could be a problem. So I'm not sure if we could actually use her. I'm just gonna leave her in here for now. And if a tuner monster seems to pop up, then we're gonna add this to our deck, right? Now, Fortune Lady Past, perfect, a tuner monster right here. Let's go ahead and add, we can add 3 copies of her for now. Yes, the deck is getting close to 30, but don't worry, we're gonna go ahead and cut this down after a little bit. We have Fortune Lady Water, we're gonna go ahead and add 3 copies of her. And 3, there we go. What is this? Fortune Vision. When this card is activated, you can add 1 Fortune Lady card from your deck to your hand. Once per turn, if a card you control is banished by a card effect, you can activate this effect. This turn, monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. Okay. Once per turn, if cards your opponent's control is banished by card effect, you can make the next battle damage you take 0. So Fortune Vision seems to be pretty good. Let's go ahead and add 2 copies of that, right? And now we are starting to fill up here, so we're gonna have to start cutting back on some things. So like Fortune Lady Rewind, I don't see our Fortune Ladies getting banished. So I don't have anything that's banishing our Fortune Lady, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of those 2. I don't think we need 3 of these, so let's just go ahead and get rid of that. And Fortune Lady Calling is pretty nice, right? So we are going to keep those 2. And I think we have 1 Fortune Lady Water. We have 2 Fortune Lady Pass. If we have 2 Fortune Lady Pass, then let's go ahead and add a second Fortune Lady Every. We can have 2 Fortune, no, we're gonna have to keep 3 Fortune Lady Winds. We're gonna take 2 Fortune Lady Earths, 3 Fortune Lady Lights, and 2 Fortune Lady Darks. So we've cut back on the deck so far. This isn't the final version of it or anything like that. We're still going through all the fortune cards here. So Fortune's Future, right? So select one of your remove from play Fortune Ladies and return it to the graveyard, and then draw 2. So like I said earlier, I'm not gonna add this, right? Because I don't see our Fortune Ladies going to being banished, right? So Lucky Loan, this is a Fortune Fairy card, so we can't really use this. Once again, another Fortune Fairy card. Misfortune, not even a Fortune Lady card or anything like that. Not a card that we could, nope. Solitaire Magician. Okay, once per turn you can select 1 Fortune Lady monster you control and 1 other face-up monster on the field. Reduce the level of the selected Fortune Lady monster by 3 and destroy the other selected monster. So this could also come in handy. So let's go ahead and add one of these. Because it's not a Fortune Lady card, we're not going to add 2 or 3 or whatever. We're going to leave it at 2. And we can also use it for summoning the Lady Earth and Lady Dark, right? What is this last card? This is a Fortune Fairy card. So we've gone through all the cards with the word fortune in it. So let's go ahead and leave that there. That doesn't really matter now. Now we have to cut back on the deck, right? So the deck, I've already started cutting back on the deck as you guys saw earlier. So now let's see how many monster cards we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, right? We have 10 per row. So 10, 14. We have 14 monster cards. And we have 6 spell cards, right? These are all spell cards. 6 spell cards and 4 trap cards. And the 2 synchro monsters. So we have a decent balance here, right? Right? We have 14 monster, 10 back row. So we could get rid of some more here. But I feel like this might be pretty good. This deck is on the larger side right here, right? Like, I don't necessarily see us needing... actually, this one... Like, we don't necessarily need 2 of these, right? We don't want our Fortune Ladies to be destroyed, but if they are, we do get 2 more Fortune Ladies, right? But they have to be in our hand, so we need more monster cards for that. But at the same time, this is a card that we could go without, right? We could have only 1 copy of it, or we could have 0 copies, right? It's not that big of a deal if we don't have it. Now this is a very super rare, ultra rare centered deck, right? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ultra rares, which is quite a bit. And I just realized that the monster, spell, and trap cards are up top, and I just counted them in front of you guys. But this is fine, right? So this is basically how I build the deck, right? And then as I'm getting the cards, as I'm like going through it, how to obtain, right? These are all drops. That's a drop. Are these all drops? These are all drops, it looks like, right? So I'm going through, seeing how to get all these cards. They all seem to be drops, right? These are all drops. Oh no, that could be a problem. We got Valhalla Calling, right? So this one I don't see being a big problem, because we can, whenever we get 500 gems, just buy 10 packs. Hopefully we get it, right? Not that big of a deal. These are all drops, level up rewards, and such, right? So we got Valhalla Calling again. So Valhalla Calling will be the main thing that we're looking for, right? That we're trying to get. Fortune Vision might be a problem because it's a level up reward. So that could be a problem. Time Passage, just drop. Bending Destiny, it's a level up reward. So we know we got Valhalla Calling, level up rewards, and drops so far. And that's also a drop. And our last card is Valhalla Calling. Okay, we are going to save. So now we can go ahead and look at her little XP timeline thing, right? So we get our 1 Fortune Lady Water fairly early. What is this? That is not something that we want. That's not something we want. We get another Fortune Lady Water at 11. Let's also look at the abilities, see if she's got anything interesting here. Fortune Booster. At the beginning of your turn, increase the level of all Fortune Lady monsters by 1. That is very helpful. Very helpful indeed. Seal of the Immortal. We're not really using a Earthbound Immortal deck here, so we're not going to need that. Looks like more trap cards that we're not really going to need. Time Passage. Increase the level of 1 Fortune Lady monster you control by 3 until the end phase. so that could be useful, I guess. I'd rather have my monsters all level up at the same time though. So I'm not, wow, okay. We gotta start hitting level 30s for this. Wow, okay. Bending Destiny, right? That's 33, 35 for Fortune Vision. Alright, Magicat, and level 40 for our second Fortune Vision. So if we want 2 Bending Destinies, we need to have ultra rare tickets, and if we want to get both our Fortune Visions, we have to get to max level with her. So this deck will take a while, because getting the max level is not an easy task, even with the level up deck that I showed you guys a while back. So tickets will definitely be used here. I'm definitely gonna have to grind out Carly Carmine Dark Signer version for a while to get all these ultra rare drops, right? So I don't have any skills for her either, and I've never used her before, so I'm starting from scratch on this one. So this deck will take me a while, but I just wanted to show you guys how to build a deck, right? And that way you guys can start building your own deck whenever you want, right? So that way you don't have to wait for a video of mine to come out, or a video of whoever to come out, or anything like that. Build your own decks, have fun, right? You don't always have to have the most meta relevant deck. You don't always have to have a deck that's made like from a website or anything like that, right? You can just make your own deck, have fun with it. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Like the deck that, like the shark deck here, right? It's alright, it wins pretty fast, but once you get to a certain point in PvP, it's not going to be good anymore, right? Like Fortune Lady, same deal. It's probably, this deck, not even close to the best Fortune Lady deck you can make out there. In fact, I've never even looked up a Fortune Lady deck before, so I have no clue if this is meta relevant or whatever, if it's a good deck or not. So I mean, it could be great. You never, I don't know. I've never played as a Fortune Lady deck before, as you can see. Like, I only have 4 cards here, but that's how I make a deck. I'm gonna go ahead and start filling this one out, and hopefully within the next few months you will see this deck. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and in the comments below let me know what deck you guys are planning to make with this strategy of how to make a deck in Duel Links. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.